There's this quiet revolution happening right now, right under our noses, especially when it comes to creating wealth. And it's a story that totally flips the script on what we think success looks like. We're going to talk about the most unlikely people building today's empires.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Just for a second, picture a successful founder. What do you see? I bet for most of you, it's that charismatic CEO, pacing the stage at a big conference. Or maybe it's that super loud trader on Wall Street or an influencer who's always on. That's the stereotype, right? Well, what if I told you that whole picture is basically becoming a thing of the past?
And that brings us right to our first big idea here, the loud mogul myth. It's time to kind of tear down this old school image of what it takes to build something huge. Yeah, look at this. It really breaks it down, doesn't it? The myth is all about that outward energy. You got to be charismatic, always networking, the loudest person in the room. But the new reality, it's all about internal energy. It's about being focused, observant, and doing your work quietly, usually online. The whole game has changed.
And hey, this isn't just some nice idea. It's a real, measurable shift. Seriously, some of the biggest fortunes being built today are by people you've never even heard of because they want it that way. They're not going to those hustle culture meetups. Nope. These empires are being built quietly, a lot of the time from just one desk in one room. So the big question is, how? How are they pulling this off? Well, it all comes down to their secret weapon, their core advantage, the superpower of focus. We're about to see how something that a lot of people see as a weakness is actually an unbelievable strength. And that secret weapon? It's called deep work. I mean, think about it. We live in a world that is totally addicted to distraction. 15-second videos, constant pings, notifications, right? So the ability to just sit down, alone, and focus for hours on a really tough problem, that's become insanely rare. And in our economy, rare means valuable. So this isn't just some nice skill to have. It is literally a financial superpower. And here's how that superpower actually translates into a successful business. It's this observation loop. See, because introverts tend to listen more than they talk, they pick up on the real problems customers are having, like the little subtle things that the louder, flashier competitors just totally miss. And once they have that deep understanding, boom, they build a solution that is laser-focused on solving that one specific problem. Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts of it. How does this superpower actually build a real business? We're going to look at the exact models and structures that are perfect for this quiet, focused approach. This quote right here is everything. It gets to the heart of the whole mindset shift. The goal isn't to hire a bunch of people and have endless meetings. No way. The goal is to build smart, automated systems that pretty much run themselves. It's about managing systems, not managing people. Think code, think content, think automation, not a packed office. And this chart just lays it all out, plain and simple. You've got the old world model, huge office space, big teams, constant meetings, and crazy high overhead. And then you have the quiet empire. It's the total opposite. It's lean, it's often remote or even just a one-person show, and it uses AI and automation instead of a huge staff. And the communication? It's asynchronous, meaning you respond when it works for you. The result? Super low costs and insanely high profit margins. So what are we actually talking about here? What do these businesses look like in the real world? Well, here are some perfect examples. Think about SaaS, software as a service. You build one piece of software that solves a problem, and thousands of people can use it without you having to be there. Or think about digital assets, like online courses or paid newsletters. They can scale to infinity. And then there's algorithmic trading, using pure logic and data to make money, taking all the emotion out of it. See the pattern? All of these reward that deep, quiet work, not social charisma. Okay, I know what you're thinking, but what about marketing? Don't you have to be out there building a huge personal brand? Well, that's exactly what we're tackling next. There's a totally new way to think about influence. This right here, this is the secret hack that these quiet architects have figured out. We've all been told you have to build a personal brand, right? But here's the thing. The brand does not have to be your face. Its value can be completely separate from who you are. You don't have to be the star of your own show. And once you start looking, you see these faceless empires all over the place. I mean, think about those huge YouTube channels that just use stock footage and a good voiceover. Millions of views. Or those anonymous Twitter accounts that give amazing financial advice and have a massive following. They're newsletters that have sold for millions of dollars where you literally have no idea who writes them. They're not selling their personality, they're selling pure, unfiltered value. And the engine that makes this whole thing run, it's something called asynchronous communication. It's a fancy way of saying no more back-to-back energy-sucking Zoom calls. Instead, people use tools like Slack, Notion, or Loom. You can communicate really well, but you do it on your own time. This saves up all that mental energy so you can pour it back into the deep work. You know, the stuff that actually makes the money.
All right, so let's bring this all together. It's really about a powerful new way of looking at what it means to be an introvert in today's world. It's about taking who you are and turning it into your biggest asset. So listen, here's the main thing I want you to take away from this. If you've ever felt like your need for quiet time and solitude was a weakness, you need to reframe that right now. In this new economy, the one that rewards deep, focused work, your solitude isn't a problem to solve. It's your headquarters. It's the command center where you're going to build your empire.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It feels like the world is finally catching up. The internet has given quiet people this incredible leverage, a way for one person in one room to literally move the world. The whole power dynamic is flipping. It's not about who's the loudest anymore. It's about who's the most competent.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. As the empires of tomorrow are being built, not on loud stages, but in those quiet moments of intense focus, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In this new economy, who's really working for whom?